Well, hello, Facebook family. I wanted to come on today because the Father is really pulling on me. I was talking to a friend of mine today, and he's been dealing with me about something today. I want to put out a disclaimer. Um, I'm natural, so those of you that know natural or that might be natural, I'm doing a braid out. So I may look a little crazy today, but I didn't take my braids out. But I still wanted to come on, and I wanted to be obedient to what the Father was saying to me. We were talking earlier and we got on a conversation of faith. And it was funny because I'm kind of in a place of where I'm a little displaced right now. And so we were talking and it just really stirred in my spirit. And I said, I really got to get on Facebook. And I really need to share this because I know that there are some other people who may be in the same situation and who's going through. I was watching a pastor friend of mine, and he was talking about how the enemy has come to sow depression and oppression into the saints. And we know the Bible tells us that the enemy, Satan, comes to wear out the saints. And a lot of us are at the place of being worn out. We're going through and we don't understand where all of these emotions are coming from, where everything is going, why everything is going on in our lives right now. We're at that place and we feel just almost displaced and we feel uncomfortable and uneasy. And we were talking about faith. And I want to be a little transparent today. I have to be transparent because it'll lead up to why today there's such a pull in my spirit. Last year, a year ago, I had to have major surgery. And so doing major surgery, it caused me to have less pay. And so because I had less pay, I was having to rob Peter to pay Paul, as we say, take two checks because I was getting short-term disability, which only allowed 70% of my pay. So I had to take two checks and put them together. And with that happening, it caused me to get behind in my rent. And because it caused me to get behind in rent, I had a situation where the apartment manager just didn't like me, just didn't care for me, even though I was praying for her. She still had a problem and decided to just, not work with me. It wasn't that I was behind in rent. It was because I was a few days late. And because I was a few days late, they give you those 7-day notices. And because you got those 7-day notices, now that's court fees. And so what was owed at the time that she wanted to put me out was 2 to 3 months worth of court fees. It wasn't rent, it was court fees. And so she didn't want to work. Let's spread it all over, here's November's rent and everything, but can we spread? No, if you don't give it all to me, you're going to be put out. So she went through the proceedings of putting me out. And at that time, I didn't understand. I'm like, Father, why are you allowing this to happen to me? But said and done, it's okay. I had a friend who moved across the hall from me. And so she said, well, you know what? Because like I said, I just had surgery and everything. And she didn't care. You can't pay your rent. So be it. You got to go. So she allowed me to move in with her. And when I moved in with her, it was like, okay, well, since you're going to be defiant and everything, then I'm going to put her out. I'm not going to put her out. I'm just not going to renew her lease. And so the Father began to deal with me and he began to talk with me. And he said, for a season, you won't have a permanent residency. And I said, I didn't understand it at that time. I just, okay, Father, you saying I won't have a permanent residency. I didn't realize that not having a permanent residency meant being displaced. So come forward, I'm still displaced. I almost feel I'm homeless. I don't have a permanent residency. And, I don't have a place to call my own, somewhere where it's mine. This is where I pay the bills and this is where I lay my head. I am displaced. And so we were talking today, and I'm being transparent because I know this is what the Father wants me to do. We were talking and I was saying, I'm heavy and, I just feel a lot of emotions going on. I'm all in my emotions and everything. And I'm just like, Father, what is it? And then we began to talk about faith. And when I began to talk about faith, there became this arresting in my spirit because he said, what you have to understand is faith has to be proven. And when he said that to me, it just kind of set something off because we don't understand that faith has to be proven. We have to show our Father that we trust him in the midst of faith. And he will allow you to go through some things when he's testing and trying your faith. My overseer always talks about that the Father will put you, that Yahweh will put you in harm's way. And it made a lot of sense at that point to me today, because I feel like I'm in harm's way. And a lot of us feel that same pressure, that we are in a situation of, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to live on disability just as I am? You know, how am I going to get through this? I'm seeing this with my rational, carnal mind. And he said, well, I need you to understand that I am trying your faith. I'm working your faith. I'm putting you to a place of understanding that faith brings forth an action. And that action means that you have to begin to work at knowing who I am in your life. And that's hard when we see things with the natural eye. When we are emotional creatures, because I am by nature very emotional, and I take things in my emotions and I handle them hard. And I'm like, well, Father, I don't see a way out of this. I don't see how you're going to work for me. You know, we all quote the scripture. We know that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. But we really don't truly understand what that means, because the Father will put you in situations that cause you to understand that you have to move in faith. And so many of us are working in little faith, no faith. We haven't got to a perfect faith, where you trust beyond what you see, beyond what you hear, beyond what you know. And I was wrestling. He said, I need to be transparent today for somebody that's been so strong on me. I didn't really want to do this. I'm like, Father, my hair is not done. You know, he said, but I want you to get past where you are, because there's somebody in the same situation you're in, and they need to hear that I'm testing their faith. I need for them to know that I'm not going to let them get past the level that they're at until they perfect the area of faith. And it was so hard for me, because, you know, I trust him, but I had to say, do I really trust him? Do I really believe that he can do what he say he can do? You know, I've always preached that we have to rest in the process, and I wasn't resting in the process. I was uncomfortable in the process. I had some things that I wasn't ready to handle, because I have to admit my faith wasn't where it needed to be. I trusted him for this, but it was hard to trust him for the things that I couldn't see with my natural eye. I began to deal with my own self and how I'm going to do it and how I'm going to bring it out. He said, wait a minute. If you say, I am Yahweh, I am the great I am that I am, then why are you trying to fix it in your own accord? Why are you trying to work it out on your own way, in your own way? Why are you trying to move in your own happenings and how you think your mind should handle it, when I need you to just rest in the process? There are some things I'm going to call you to do, but right now I need for you to trust that if I have you in the situation that you're in, that I didn't bring you there to leave you there. I brought you there to prepare you. I brought you there for you to get an understanding. I brought you there so that you could learn something, so that you could get wisdom from this. You could get understanding from this, not for you to be all off discombobulated, but for you to say, if you say you trust me, then let me be God. Let me be the head of your life. Let me show you who I am to you. Why are you sitting back thinking that you have to do something to get my favor on your life, when all I want you to do is trust me? When all I want you to do is believe me, that where the place I have you at is working patience, is getting you to get to understanding, is getting you to trust and to get beyond where you are. Because I knew when I put that picture out there, he said, Cheree, it's time to live. And most of us, we're living just existing. We're cohabitating in situations. We're not really living to the fullest. Why? Because we don't really believe what that word says. We don't really trust that he can bring us out. We are just like Peter was when he said, come walk on the water. We have very little faith in times of situation. We know that if he beckon us out, that he's got us, but we sit back and we look at the wind and the waves, and we get all confused and all discombobulated because the waves are hitting us, and we don't see how we're going to get to the other side. And so we get all messed all up. And I'm here to tell you, I want to be transparent because the situation I'm in, I've been since I was 17 years old. I've been on my own. I took care of Cheree. When I needed anything, I went out, I got a job. I made sure, even when I had a man in my life, and I want to be open and honest and transparent, even when I had a man in my life, I was taking care of him. I was the one getting up, going to a 9 to 5 and working overtime while he stayed at home and did what it was that he needed to do, because I knew that I needed to provide. And so it's hard when you get in a situation where you have to rely on somebody else, because you've been strong all your life. Most of us women have been strong all our life. We've had to do it on our own. We've seen strong mothers. I had a strong mother who made sure made sure her kids had, made sure that everything that we needed, she got, she provided for us. So it's hard when you're in a situation when the Father says, I'm going to take you back to a place where you got to trust me, because the next level that I'm trying to take you to is going to take faith. It's going to take understanding. It's going to take wisdom. It's going to take knowledge. And I'm here to tell you, I'm not in my own place. I am displaced right now. But the Father tells me, I have a place for you. But right now, I need for you to rest in the process. I need for you to make better of where you are right now. I know that it's hard for you to have to relax in somebody else's house and do in somebody else's house. But I need for you to understand that you're not just there for you. You're there for that person too. That person may ruffle your feathers or may get you in a different mindset, but I want you to overcome some things. You know, my overseer would always tell that to me, Cheree, until you overcome. See, we don't want to get to the place of overcoming. Why? Because overcoming hurts. Overcoming is oppressing. Overcoming is a place of where he gets the purest oil out of you. But it hurts when you're in the place of overcoming. That's the hardest place to be. Why? Because you begin to see yourself. You begin to see who you are. He said, I'm uncovering. I'm unveiling. I'm moving the scales from off of your eyes. And since I've been in this place, I'm here to tell you, it's been uncomfortable. Why? Because I had to see I'm emotional. I had to see that I'm prideful. I had to see that I don't want nobody's help. And the Father said, how can I help you unless I send help through others? And he said, you have not because you ask not. And we get in a place because the world tells us that means you're weak when you need somebody. And the Father says, I need for you to understand that, because what if I get to a place where I have to bring 10 other people into a place where you are? Can you handle that? Can you handle the criticism? Can you handle people talking about you right in your face? Because I need you to get to a level of understanding that when I put you out there, you will have persecution. You will have people that will talk about you. You will have people that will lie on you. They'll do it right in your face. But it's all about how you handle the persecution. Do you get angry with your brother or sister? Or do you trust that the Father knows where you are and I'm just trying to perfect you? I'm trying to get you to a better place, and I want to begin for you to begin to examine who you are. It's hard to be transparent. I didn't understand it. He always would give me dreams of transparency, of being before people. And I said, Father, please don't do that to me. But he said, if I don't do it, people won't know that they can overcome. And this is the hour and situation in which we have to overcome. He's trying to perfect your faith, because faith is an action word. Even though we trust him, he said, if I tell you to take 2 steps, if I tell you to put on a blindfold and walk down the street, do you trust me enough that I will keep accidents away from you, even though I am placing you in harm's way? Do you trust me enough to know that I will not let any harm come to you? That I will be right there in the midst of your situation, right in the midst of your circumstance. I got you. I won't leave you. I'm not going to leave you. I'm right there with you. But what I'm putting you through is building your faith, is building your character, because he's promised a lot to a lot of us. He said, this is a season in which I'm going to use a lot of you. This is the season in which I want to catapult the gifts that are upon your life. But I can't take you there because your character will not allow you to go to the next level. Your faith will not allow you to go to the next level. The anointing that's on your life has not been purified because you won't allow me to press and get the purest oil out of you. You want to shut down on me every time I try to perfect the gifts. I try to perfect the talents. You're in an uncomfortable place right now. It's uncomfortable because he's trying to elevate your faith. He said, I won't take you to the next place until you have the faith that has been perfected. Until you can stand and know with an assurity. See, a lot of times we are just that double-minded man or woman and we're unstable. And how do we become unstable? It's because we don't trust in the faith. We hear. I'm a witness. The Father will speak directly to us. He'll say something and somebody will come in and will mess with your faith. Somebody will come in and say, well, if I were you, I would wait. If I were you, I wouldn't do that like that. Well, what I'm hearing in my spirit for you is that you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that like that. And the Father has made a promise to you. He's spoken directly to you and he said, why won't she trust me? See, that goes back to when the people came to Moshe and they said, we don't want to hear from Yahweh. We don't want to hear from the great I am. We want to hear from you. You speak directly to us. So the Father gave us over to man and he allowed man to speak into our lives. But he said, be careful. See, not only did they do that, but then again, they said, well, now we want a king. Put a king over us. Give us a king like all the other kingdoms. When he says, I'm speaking directly to you. I made a promise with you. I made a covenant with you. If you just trust and know that I speak directly to you. And so then we become all discombobulated and we become that double-minded man or woman because now we're tossed to and fro with what everybody has to say about us. When he's speaking directly to us. When he's made a promise to us. He said, I want to work on your faith in this season. Because in this season, I want you to show me that you truly understand what faith is. Do you truly understand what it means to have faith beyond a mustard seed? Do you truly understand that it takes a small faith? But I need to upgrade your faith because you're working in no faith, some of us. And then some of us are working in little faith. And then there's some of us that have great faith. But he said, I want you to have that perfect faith. That faith that says no matter what it sounds like, no matter what it looks like, I'm going to be unmovable, steadfast, and abounding in my Savior. Trusting that he knows what's best for me. That he has a purpose and he has a plan for my life. So it's difficult. I know you're going through. I'm there. I have been very emotional. I have had a week of just crying. Father, I don't understand. Show me what it is you want me to do. Am I erring in some kind of way? Have I done something that has offended you or offended my brothers that I am in this situation? Because Father, I don't see a way out of this. And he said, I want you to just trust me. Believe that I didn't bring you this far to leave you. I'm adjusting your faith. I'm fixing the barometer of your faith. I'm giving it an uplift. And I have to put you in some situations to get the purest oil from you. I have you right now on the potter's wheel. And it doesn't feel good that you're on that wheel right now. It does not feel good. I don't want it to feel good to you right now. Because if I allowed it to feel good to you, you won't go to the next level. That's just what working out. Some of us will get up and we'll work out and we'll push us just where we feel our body is comfortable. But then you get this trainer who comes in and begins to train you and say, one more sit up, one more jumping jack, One more crunch. No, come on, you can give me one more. Come on, you can do a little bit more than that. You got more than that in you. And you begin to see the workout, the efforts of the workout take root in your life. And the Father says, I have to put you in these situations so that you get a spiritual workout. So that when you get in this place again, when you're in this place again, it will not affect you the same way. You will handle this situation differently. When somebody comes up against you to persecute you, you won't handle it the way you handled it 5 years ago. Because I had to put you in a situation so that you can understand that greater is he that's in me than he that's in the world. See, we don't want to get to the place of being purified, of being perfected. Why? Because it hurts in our flesh. And he says, I'm coming to prick you in your flesh. I'm coming to be that thorn in your flesh, in your side, so that you know that I got you. So that you won't get like Lot's wife and look back. We have to stop looking back to the past, because we have to learn to press toward the mark of the high calling. We're so continuously looking back at how things were and how we handle things in the past. We're not that person anymore. Every day you get up, you grow a little bit more. Every day you press in, you mature a little bit more. And he says, I have to put you in different situations. I have to take you to higher heights and deeper depths in me so that you can see that I am the great I am. I am. I am in you. I and my Father are one. And we are one in you. And just because you don't see the end right now does not mean that the rainbow, the promise, is not there. How many of us have seen rainbows and said, let's drive or let's walk to see if we can see the end of the rainbow? Just because you can't see the end of the rainbow does not mean that there is not an end. And he said, I want you to understand that I'm building you in this hour. I talk to so many people who are in the same situation that I'm in. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills. I don't know how I'm going to get to work. I don't know how I'm going to do this without a job. And we get all in our emotions in it. And he said, I'm coming to sanctify you in your emotions. Because when you get in your emotions, you allow the enemy, you allow the devil, you allow old Lucy to get you distracted, to pull you away from where you need to be and what you need to do. And you get all off the course. And when you get off the course, now you have all of these detours that you have to get back on the road all over again. When he's saying, stay in the midst, there's progress in the process. Don't give up on the process. Stand in the midst of the process. Because in the midst of the process, you will begin to see progress. And I'm here to tell you, it was difficult. I wrestled with this message because of transparency. But it's time that we be transparent one to another. Bear one another's burdens. Because he's saying that even though you're going through, there's somebody else that's going through worse than you. There's somebody in a situation that needs to hear your testimony. They need to see how you're overcoming this. Because we are overcomers by the blood of the Lamb and by the word and power in our testimonies. I'm here to say, I'm not defeated. I understand now what the Father is doing in me is to bring me to a perfected end so that I can go to the next level. I can go to the next place. But if I don't allow him to place me on the potter's wheel and reshape me and mold me, I will not be able to go to my next level. I will not be able to move in purpose. It hurts. I'm here to tell you, I'm used to being independent. I'm used to taking care of myself. But hear what I'm saying. The word I am use. But there is a greater I am. The higher. The I am that I am. The I am who I am. He's saying that I'm doing this. I'm doing this. He said, have you tried my servant Job? You are the servant in which he's allowing the enemy to try. It's a setup. You're being set up to perfect you, to get you to the next level. So don't take it as he's hurting you. And why me? Why not you? You are a servant that he loves. He loves you. He loves you. But he said, I want you to not only know me, but I want you to see me. I want you to understand that I am in the midst of the storm. I won't leave you. I won't let you go through by yourself. And I don't know if there's anybody else out there that's watching. There has been some times when he's been quiet and he hasn't said anything to me. And I've been sitting there, Father, I need to hear from you. I need for you to show me what it is you want me to do. Where is it that I'm supposed to go from here? How do you want me to move in this? And he was quiet because all he wanted me to do was rest. And know that I won't leave you. I won't forsake you. I promise to be by your side. I promise to be there for you, especially if you're walking righteously. Now, there's a difference. If we're out in the world and we're being wicked, some things he will allow to come upon us so that we get an understanding that he is still God. He is still Yahweh. I'm still here, and I do punish to the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. But there is a place for the righteous where he's perfecting the gifts and talents. And he allows things to come and try and test your faith. To see, do you really believe? And that's a hard thing to hear. But do you really believe? So many people go to church every Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever day, and don't believe the word. Don't believe what they read. Don't believe what they hear. And so he has to put you in a situation to try your faith. He's not going to move you to the next level. I'm going to say it again. He's not going to move you to the next level until your faith is increased. He's going to continue to put you in situations. I'm a witness. I'm not just saying this because I'm a pastor. I'm an apostle. I have been in situations where I felt like I was a dog chasing my tail, going in a circle, and I did not understand why I had to keep going through this circle. He said, because my daughter, you haven't gotten it yet. And until you get it, you're going to continue to be at this place. Because I need you to get an understanding. And all of thy getting, get an understanding. I want you to see that you are at this level because you keep making the same errors, the same mistakes. And I can't push you to the next level because you keep holding on to old things, old memories, dead things, when I have caused you to be alive. So I can't move you to temperance when you're still stuck in the area of love. You don't know how to love yet, so I can't move you to meekness and temperance and long suffering because you're stuck at the area of love. You don't love your friends because you don't love yourself. So I have to keep putting you in a situation so that I can elevate you because you haven't gotten it yet. I'm trying to perfect you in your faith. So I'm going to keep causing situations to occur until you get it. Until you get it. It's not a bad thing to go from point A to point B, back to point A. Because he wants to show you that you are strong. That I live in you. I reside in you. I'm with you. I haven't left you. I am the I am in you. I am the greater in you. I just want to uplift your faith. Because until you realize that I am moving in faith in your life, until you prove to me that you understand faith. Because we can say I have faith all day long. But faith is an action word. Faith is a powerful thing. It's a powerful tool. And he says, I'm going to allow the situations to occur. Because I need your faith to be uplifted. I need you to go beyond great faith to perfect faith. And perfect faith says, no matter what, though they slay me, yet will I trust you. If that means I got to sleep on the street, I'll do it. If that means that I have to go without, I'll do it. Because I know that you're capable and you're able. See, perfect faith puts you in the midst of the fiery furnace and say that even if he don't get us out of this furnace, I know that he still can if he wants to. That's perfect faith. Perfect faith says I can speak to that mountain and not only speak to it, but know that it will be removed out of my way. That's perfect faith. Perfect faith says even though I can't see my way out of this, I know there's a way out. Perfect faith says I'll move above and beyond. I'll trust him. Even if it means my life, I'll trust him. Why? Because he is the giver of life. He is the sustainer. See, we need to be encouraged today. And I'm just here to speak what he's putting in my heart. Because there's a lot of people in the same situation and we feel like he's left us. We feel like he's forsaken us. We feel as if he's not with us because he's not speaking. But he said, I spoke to you 5 years ago. I spoke to you 2 years ago, 10 years ago. I haven't changed my mind. You have not come up to the level in which I wish to take you. So that promise that I made to you is not gone. It's still there. You just aren't operating in the gift. So you need to understand he's moving. Korabasaya. He's moving on the behalf of his children. But he says, I want to test your faith. I want to test your faith. So I'm going to put you in some situations. I'm going to put you in harm's way. Everyone he dealt with, he allowed them to be in harm's way. Why? So he could show them that I am. He put the Israelites in harm's way. And I say that because he hardened Pharaoh's heart. He did it. And every time that he hardened their heart, Pharaoh came down harder and harder on them. Why? So that he could get the glory. So that he could show Pharaoh in the end, there is no other greater than I am. Let me say that again. that there is no other greater than I am. I am great in your life. And I'm going to keep saying it. Faith. He's dealing with me in the area of faith. This is a hard thing to deal with. I don't know how Cheree's going to do it. If Cheree looked at the picture right now, being honest, I get disability. Even if I did find a house right now in my natural, how can I pay rent? How can I pay lights? How can I pay gas? How can I put food in the house with the small amount of income you've given me? That's what Cheree says. But what does the word say? The word says that he shall supply all of my needs according to his riches in glory, which is through Yeshua the Messiah. And I have to begin to declare that greater is he that's in me. But that means elevating my faith. That means I have to trust what I cannot see. That means I have to believe that the great I am has already got a purpose and a plan. So I have to relax in knowing that, well, I'm in someone else's house. He's already working it out for my good. He's already prepared the way. He's already spoken to the heart of someone to be a blessing to me. And see, we don't look at the blessings that we have right now. I could be in a shelter. I could be sleeping on the street, but he had someone to open their house up to me. A widow woman. To open her house up to me. And say, come stay here. You can stay here. The blessing. I can't look at what I see as far as I don't have my own. I have to look at the blessing that he's blessed me to not be on the street. And this is not my final destination. This is not the final place in which he wants me to be. This is the stop along the way that's perfecting Cheree. Because I have to learn something here. I have to get something here. There is an understanding that I have to have. And sometimes it's not just for us. Sometimes the impartation that I have, I might need to impart into someone else. I might not just be here for me. I might be here for her. She might have needed me. There might be something that I can give unto her that she needs. This might be the season in which he's calling me just to sow into her. Because she has a need. We have to stop seeing the surface of things and go above and beyond. I'm ministering to me today. Today is a day when I felt like getting up and being alive. Because I was seeing the surface. I was dragging the ground. I was low. And he said, I need for you to come up. Come up from where you are. Where is your faith? O ye of little faith. Where is your faith? Don't say you trust me and then waddle. He's moving and working on your faith. And I know that there is an anointing on this. Why? Because of my transparency. I know somebody needed to hear this today. Somebody needs to know that even though you're in the midst of the storm, he has not left you. He has not forsaken you. This is the time he wants you to examine where you are. What are you really dealing with? What's really the underlying root of where you are? Are you grateful? Are you thankful for what you do have? Or are you complaining about what you don't have? He said, I bless you. And you want the Benz on He said, I'm going to take you to that level, but are you thankful for that? Are you believing for that? So I just wanted to encourage somebody today. I wanted somebody to sit back and think. Where is my faith? Examine yourself. Is your faith low? Do you have little faith? Do you have great faith? Or everything that you're going through, is it bringing you to perfect faith? Just wanted you to think for a moment. Everybody, be blessed. I love you to pieces. May he shine his face upon you. And may he put his name upon you. Because you are the children of Israel. Love you. Blessings.